The former lead singer of the Manchester band The Stone Roses has told a jury that Fred Talbot showed pupils an explicit video while teaching at Altrincham Grammar School for Boys.
Ian Brown, who was a pupil there in the 1970s, said that the former biology teacher showed the film during a sex education lesson. Mr Talbot denies indecently assaulting 10 boys aged between 14 and 17. Mark Edwardson has been in court for us today and joins us now live from outside. Mark, just tell us, if you would, about some tense exchanges today between Ian Brown and Mr Talbot's defence barrister.
Yes, there were, Roger. Ian Brown was here today as a witness rather than an alleged victim. He told the court that school friends, while he was at Altrincham Grammar School, had alleged improper sexual conduct by Mr Talbot against them. It was a testy exchange with the defence QC Suzanne Goddard, who asked him why he'd spoken out only after seeing news coverage of the allegations being made against Mr Talbot. Ian Brown replied that he'd actually been speaking out about Mr Talbot since the age of 14. He says, "I'd see him as a weatherman on the news," and he told the court it was a daily reminder of what he'd done to those boys.
Mark, tell us a little bit more, if you would, about this sex education lesson which Ian Brown today described in court.
Yes, Ian Brown told the prosecution that while he was a first year back in 1974, they were shown a graphic 3-minute film of a young man, quotes, engaged in sexual activity. Ian Brown said he didn't know what was going on because he was only 11 years old at the time, but he told the court it was only a few years later I realised it was probably a gay porn film. It wasn't a sex education film. He added it was wrong to have been shown that film. Asked by the defence why he hadn't told teachers or parents about it, he replied, "I was only 11 and I would have been embarrassed. Teachers at the time were violent and ruled with an iron rod." Suzanne Goddard suggested Ian Brown had let his imagination run away after learning of the police inquiry into Mr Talbot. Ian Brown told the court, "I'm absolutely certain about what went down," later adding, "I came here to help boys hurt many years ago."
Mr Talbot, Mark, faces 10 charges of indecent assault.
Yes, he does. All 10 relate to his time as a teacher between the 1960s and the 1980s, before, of course, he came to national prominence as an ITV weatherman. 4 of those allegations relate to boys who were Altrincham Grammar School pupils. Mr Talbot denies all 10 charges and the trial continues.
OK, Mark, thank you very much indeed. Mark Edwardson there. Police in Greater Manchester are offering a £50,000 reward